Aloha everyone, and welcome to another Carbon 60 video by me, Kelmer. And in this video I'd like to share with you how to make your own C60 black seed oil capsules. Alright, let's start in with the disclaimers. This material is for research purposes only. C60 oil is not approved for consumption by the FDA. You understand that making and consuming C60 oil is experimental, and you do so at your own risk. I do not endorse, I don't have a stake, and I don't have a product in any C60 type of way, and I don't get paid for making videos. And especially important, in no way is anything in this video to be considered medical advice. Alright, let's jump in. Okay, so why would anyone want to use black seed oil? And so how this all started, which was the last time I was doing the pricing update video, the most recent one, I ran across the first time that I had seen a C60 oil encapsulated in pill form, and so I was very intrigued, and it was especially in black seed oil, and even more important, it was by the Live Longer Labs. I got that wrong. Let me put that ER in there because I'm OCD and want to make sure it's correct. Okay, so Live Longer Labs, okay? So these guys, that's Phil Catalano and Max Champy, really smart guys. They've been on the Sarah Westall, been interviewed several times, and brilliant tinkerers just like us, do-it-yourselfers, and so I was like very intrigued. So I set out about a month or so ago, and I decided to go ahead and make my own black seed oil capsules. And so subsequent research has been very interesting, and let me just share with you. So first of all, if you go on the Live Longer Lab site and you click on this this product, and then you click on learn more, you're going to find out all of these different benefits are listed on their website. And you know, they did a great job in terms of marketing the product from the standpoint of every one of these on the website links to a study. And all of the studies support, there's multiple studies for each specific bullet point, and every study supports that bullet point. So it's a really well put together marketing piece for the idea of how incredibly healthy black seed oil is. And I got to tell you, I started from ground zero on this. I heard about it, but I never ever once bought it or looked at it or tasted or anything. So this is a new thing for me as well. But hey, let's just take a look at it. Why is clearly, you take a look at the benefits, and this is why you would choose this oil as a companion for C60, because when you look at the benefits of both, especially black seed oil, I mean, look at it. It relieves pain, lowers blood cholesterol, decreases high blood pressure, etc., etc. And then you look over here at the benefits of C60. It gives you more energy, less sleep. You guys are taking C60, but the whole idea is there's some incredible benefits to C60, incredible benefits for black seed oil, and they're not redundant. So you combine the two, and you have like a super supplement. So this is a great idea. Good job, Max and Phil. And this is their new product that's been around for about 3 months now. So, and of course, in typical Kelmer fashion, I'm going to try to replicate this because I'm a do-it-yourselfer. And so this is basically how to do it yourself. If you are interested in either buying it or doing it yourself, this is the idea that you would want to do it yourself. And so really, it's just so simple. This is probably the easiest experiment I ever did, which is buy the oil, get some C60. I always have C60 on hand. Get some vegan capsules. I always have vegan capsules on hand because I do a lot of encapsulation of my own various different supplements that I buy in bulk. I buy bulk powders, and I make my own capsules. I'd save a lot of money doing it that way, and so I always have these things on hand. The equipment, of course, I have that on hand, which is all you need is a beaker or a flask, a stir, and a capsule filling machine. And this is the model that I use, and so that's it. You don't really need a lot of stuff to make this stuff. It doesn't cost much. I'll get into the costs later in the video, but that's really it. So I went ahead and did this, and this is my methods for the experiment. I added the C60 to oil. Now, what I always usually, when I'm experimenting, I always go with a 1 milligram per milliliter, i.e. 1 gram per liter. Kind of, that's just what I put in. I know a lot of you guys put in 0.8, 0.6, 0.5, but depending on oil. But I always go with 1 because I want to know what the saturation rate is going to be, and whether or not how much of it actually gets dissolved. And then I stirred for 17 days, odd number. I intended to stir for 2 weeks, but I got busy. I forgot to pull it off the stir. And then I settled it for 2 weeks because 2 weekends later I went ahead and filtering is optional. I just want to remind everybody it's optional. If you don't have kidney stones, then you really don't need to filter if you don't want to. But I tried to filter it. I'll get into that. And then of course you encapsulate the oil and make your capsules. That's really it. It's pretty simple. Now my observations while doing this, and I have a little video for you, is that the oil has a really strong smell, and it took a little while to get used to it, because at first I was like, whoo. I did not like the smell, and you know, when I smelled it, it was the first thing that popped in my head was, oh, now I know why Phil and you know, Max put it in a capsule, because there is no way that I would ever take a tablespoon and put that in my mouth. There is just no way. So putting it in a capsule where you just swallow it, yeah, that makes so much sense. And now I understand why that's the way they're selling it. Okay, I mean, I'm sure other guys and other folks could probably just take it straight, but I don't want to. Anyway. When I went to try to filter it, this is what was really interesting. It will not filter at 0.22. I mean, that was my go-to. You know, I was thinking it's like olive oil, and I was going to filter it, but it wouldn't. It just like maybe like, I don't know, 20 drops, and then stopped for, you know, it just stopped. So then I had to empty the funnel and change out the paper, and I tried a 10. That's my next level up, is a 10 micron filter. And then I tried that, and it did filter through 10, but it would stop like halfway. The the funnel on my rig. Here's my filter rig right there, and so it would stop halfway. So I had to change the paper twice. So it stopped. I did 125, and then it would stop, and then I emptied it out, put another filter paper in there, and it went another 125 and finished the batch. Okay, and so that was really interesting. It's so thick. It just doesn't filter well. So that was interesting to me. I'd never encountered an oil that did that. And then lastly, the residual C60 remaining. There was some in the flask and some in the filter. So as you know, you have to guess. And so I was guessing that it's probably the same as olive oil, like 0.8, based on the residual. And you'll see that in the video here. So here's my video. It's not in my normal place in my kitchen because I got kicked out of the kitchen. And so here I am filtering with a stupid pillow behind it so you can see what I'm doing. And got kicked out because the daughter was cooking and I couldn't use the kitchen. But anyway, so here it is. It's quite foamy, which was real interesting. And this is with the 10 micron filter. But, you know, other than being foamy, it was and the issues with the paper, that was it. It just went right through. And then I was good to go. And then, the foam does go away, so it's not a big deal. But I just thought that was really weird because I'd never seen oil do that. Okay, so this was after I was finished and I got to use the kitchen again. What was going on, you see the foam was gone. I'd filtered all of it that was in the flask, and then I had to go through 2 pieces of filter paper. So the oil looked pretty good. It's kind of like syrup. It's like a real light syrup, really, really, really viscous, and of course I got that smell. And then of course here's the filter paper. So you can see where there's definitely residual C60 stuck in the paper. I mean, really light. I mean, I used powdered, right? I didn't use pulverized. Pulverized would have, I would have expected this to look like that with pulverized, but this was powdered, so there's no black at all. Really, the majority of the C60 was dissolved into the oil, but there was some residue, very, very light in the filter. And then when you look at the bottom of the flask, it's sort of light. I mean, the oil's black, so it's kind of hard to tell, but that's the bottom of the flask right there. And you can kind of see where when the oil drains away, and I had let me just go backwards here. I had a thought afterwards where I was thinking I should have just laid this thing on its side and then let the oil just go away so I could get a real good shot of the residual C60 stuck to the bottom of the flask. But because this is oil and C60, but you can see, I put 1/4 gram in this thing. And you can just see that real super light film. But I got to tell you, it was so light that there's no way I could have made another batch out of it. And I've done that so many times now that I know what it looks like and whether I should bother. And this is not to bother. So I would say definitely that I had probably about the same saturation as I would get with olive oil. Okay, so this is a capsule filling machine. That's what they call them. I don't know if you guys make your own capsules. I've been doing this for over a decade already. You can see my machine's all beat up. I've got a couple of them. And so this is really what you do with the capsule machine if you've never used one. You basically buy, like right here, you'll see this right there in the corner. There's a stack. I just pour them out. But there's you buy the empty. I buy the vegan ones because daughter's a vegetarian, and she doesn't want to eat the gel capsules. Those gel capsules are made out of gelatin, and if you all know what gelatin is and you're a vegetarian, you're not going to want to eat that. So it's made from animal products. So we go with the vegan capsules, and they're basically little capsules, and you just pull them apart, and you put the big end on this side and the little end on that side, and then you just fill up the tray. There's 24 in this one. They make these things up to like 100 and 200. You know, he make huge ones, but this is the tiny one. And then so now once the capsules are all stuck in here in these little holes, you just fill it up, and then this is the thing. I use 00 capsule. That's the size I'm using in this experiment or example. It's 00. They make 000, single O, you know, different sizes, right? And a 00 capsule will hold 1 milliliter of fluid inside. I make and this is not the first time I've actually made oil capsules. I usually do like I make oregano oil capsules and so forth. I you know, cut it with coconut. Okay, so then once you have filled up all of the capsules, the big end, you just take the little thing, you flip it over so the top's on the, you know, you got the small end and the big end, and you squish it. And you pull in the bottom here, it goes up into the machine, and you squish it together, and it makes your capsules. And there you go. And they're all stuck in there. And then they're stuck in there pretty tight, so you know, you can't pull it out. I kind of demonstrate that. See, it's pretty tight. So how you get them out is you push down on this part, and pop they go. They're just right out, and that's it. That's how you make capsules. And you can use, you know, this is using black seed oil. You can also make capsules with all sorts of other stuff. I actually buy medicinal mushrooms in bulk powder. I get resveratrol in bulk powder, curcumin in powder, you know, lots of different things in powder. Apricot seeds, you know, for my Laetrile, that kind of thing. So anyway, that's just how you make capsules. And so there you go. This is my batch of black seed capsules. So now, in order to compare, this was the thing about comparing, on the Live Longer Lab site, they only express the amount of the capsule in their, their gel capsule is in milligrams. So I had to go for, instead of going by volume, which is you know, milliliters, I had to go with milligrams to determine you know, a like for like dosage amount and like for like capsule to capsule comparison. So it was important that I weighed the empty capsule and then weighed the capsules that I had made so that I could calculate exactly how much was in each capsule by milligram, so I could do an apples to apples comparison to the product, which I'm going to show you next. Okay, and that's really it. So the finished product is 923 milligrams per capsule, and this is how it kind of works out. So how does it compare? Well, Live Longer Labs, they advertise on the website that it's 46 milligrams of C60 per 60 milliliters, or 0.8 milligrams per milliliter, and they have a 615 milligram gel capsule. So my estimate, as I mentioned, was 0.8 milligrams per milliliter, the same roughly outcome that they had, but because I'm using 00 1 milliliter capsules, I came out at 805 milligrams per vegan capsule. Okay, so when I checked on their site, they don't have it on the site, so I had to go ask those guys. I chatted with them. They said the recommended dosage by Live Longer Labs is 2 to 5 capsules per day. So in the do-it-yourself world, because it's a heavier capsule, the dosage comparison charts is right here. So they're saying 2 to 5, so this range right here. So that would mean that you're taking anywhere from, this is the total product, this is oil plus C60, 1,230 milligrams with 2 capsules, all the way up to 3,000 milligrams, 3,075 milligrams right here. For 5 capsules per day. That's their recommended how much you should take. Now, if you do the do-it-yourself like I did, so for me to replicate this concept here, I would take anywhere from 16. If I took 2 capsules, I'd be taking 16, all the way up to, and you know, this 3,000. I would take, and then if I wanted to do the full 5 a day, I would just take 4 of mine because of the size difference. But you know, it's not like for like. It's definitely, you know, but this is the closest you could come. So the idea here is, hey, if you wanted to try it yourself, you could get a really nice, you could get a really good dose just taking 2 a day, and that would be on the low end of the recommended scale. And the other thing too about this is that if it's 0.8 milligrams, right, per milliliter, and it's 1 milliliter per 00, that means, so if you're taking a teaspoon, I believe a teaspoon, let's just ask Siri, how many milliliters in 1 teaspoon?
Is 4.93 milliliters.
Okay, so Siri says it's 4.93. So there'd be 4.9. So let's say there's 5 capsules in 1 teaspoon. So if you're used to taking olive oil 1 teaspoon at a time, you got to take 5 capsules. Now, if you are like me, you take a tablespoon a day. The tablespoon is 15 milliliters. That's 15 capsules. So you can see where there is a huge difference between dosing on capsules or dosing by teaspoons and tablespoons. Okay, so keep that in mind, because if you're looking to take anything in capsules like the way you take it by tablespoon, you're going to eat a lot of gelatin, or you're going to eat, you're going to eat a lot of capsules, and you may not want to eat that many capsules. But that's something to really keep in mind, because I think that's the main thing that for me is a drawback about taking oil in capsules, is you have to take so many to have the same dose that I take every day. So I prefer just taking, a tablespoon a day. But the black seed oil is pretty amazing, and so maybe there is something to this. I haven't tried it taking it yet. I just wanted to bang this video out, and then I will proceed to trying it. Okay, so let's talk about the costs. Now, it was really cheap to do this, and this is what I want to point out. Here's my 3 things I had to buy: the oil, the C60, the capsules. Actually, I know, like I said, I have this on hand. And so 8-ounce bottle on Amazon, $20.95. Definitely get the organic one. Now, I've got some C60 for $1.50 a gram, and so I used a quarter of that, and that was $37.50. And if anyone's asking how I got it so cheap, just sidebar real quick. The Telegram C60 chat group kind of formed a co-op, and just like any other co-op in the world, we all get together as a group and we buy in bulk. And when you buy in bulk, the price goes down, and so now we're buying C60 in bulk, having it third-party tested, so we know for sure that it's real, and then we distribute it out. And we have this incredible volunteer, and he knows who he is, and thank God for him. And he just volunteers his time and energy, and he's the one that does the shipping, and he ships out so. In other words, we go out and buy a whole bunch, and then you can buy 1 gram from us at the bulk price, and it's all non-profit. Nobody makes a dime. It's all for the community, and that's how I got this so cheap. So anyway, so a quarter gram is $37.50 at the cost I pay for it, and then the vegan capsules, you get a whole bag for 1,000 of them, and it comes out like 2 cents per capsule. But so you're gonna make 220 capsules, so $6.16, which makes a total of $64.61. Now, I want to point out, this is important. This $64.61 represents how much to make for 8 ounces. Now, an 8-ounce batch is roughly about 220 capsules, assuming you're going to have some spillage. Okay, because 8 ounces like 236 milliliters. All right, so 1 milliliter per capsule. Okay, so I'm figuring about a 16 milliliter loss. So you make about 220 capsules. Okay, so now at this cost, though, at $64.61 for 220 capsules, it comes out to 29 cents a capsule. Okay, and that makes it so now if you wanted to do a like for like comparison, because I want to go back up here, this right here, this bottle is 150 capsules. So if I'm doing 150 capsules of the do-it-yourself capsules, it's only going to cost $43.50 for 150, and they weigh more. Okay, and I'm not even going to go there. It's just too much math. But simply put, I can make you and I can make a capsule for 29 cents a capsule, and for a bottle of 150 of these, and they do way more, it's $43.50. Okay, now Live Longer Labs, hey, they're great guys, love them. If you don't want to do all this hassle, it is, you can go buy it yourself, and a lot of people prefer to buy. That's totally cool. By the way, I'm not endorsing anybody, and you know that. Okay, but the retail price for the bottle of the Live Longer Labs, this bottle of 150 black seed oil retails at $79.99. So and this is what my channel is all about, is how to help people learn how to make your own and save money. And so do it yourself, you will save 49% off the retail price by simply making your own capsules. Ta-da, there you go. So it's a huge cost savings to do it yourself, and it's so not expensive. So, and this is your materials cost. Okay, now of course you have equipment costs, and so this is a one-time cost. You're going to buy a beaker, a magnetic stir, and a machine. Okay, so I bought a 600 milliliter beaker for $10 in Telelab. These are 20 or $30 for that little blue stir, which I talked a lot about in the last video. And then right now you can get the same machine I'm using, you see in the video, for $14.39 on Swanson Vitamins. So I'm figuring $6 for shipping. So the total right here is $60 or $61. So you spend $61, get some equipment, or you all probably already have this stuff, and then you can go ahead and make your own capsules and save 49%. Try the latest product in the C60 world, which got tons and tons and tons of awesome benefits, and then see what happens. All right. So now lastly, before I leave, I want to it's interesting because I've been poking around, and there seems to be some trending on the black seed oil encapsulation concept. So ever since the last pricing guide, and it's not attributed to me, but ever since, let's say, like Live Longer Labs puts out a new product, all of a sudden the other people making C60 go, oh, hey, he's making black seed oil. Oh, he's making it in capsules, right? So it's kind of cool. What's happening now in the market, if you kind of poke around, is that, and this is Skyrunner on the C60 chat group, great guy, lives in Big Island, aloha brother. And so this guy has basically just announced to the chat that he's coming out with a new product, and so he runs the Amrita, C60. And he's now created a new product with MCT with black seed oil. I think he said it was 80-20. And as for taste, because of that whole smell thing, he says it's not too bad. Or sorry, he quote unquote, it's not too strong. So he's able to, you can take it without having to encapsulate it. So he's actually, launching a black seed oil product mixed with MCT, because like I said, there's no way you could just do straight black seed oil. But this is interesting how he's taking it and he's mixing it with the new oil. So new product here off the black seed oil concept. And then over here at Pure C60 Olive Oil, real cool. All of a sudden, after Live Longer Labs popped out some, capsules, black seed oil capsules, they came out with an olive oil capsules in pill form that they're selling on their site. So it's kind of interesting now. This is the second C60 capsule product on the market. I thought that was very interesting. And again, though, man, if I had to take olive oil C60 by capsule, I'd take for 1 tablespoon 15 of these. So I don't know who this is going to be targeted to, but I'm not one of them, and there's no way I'm taking 15 of these a day. But it's an idea. I don't know if they're going to, I don't know how this is going to work for them, but I think it's great that they're trying something new, and there may be a market for that. So, hey, kudos to you guys. Kudos to you, Skyrunner. Thanks for the tip on the thing in the chat. And that's it. Thank you. Thank you very much for stopping by and watching this video, and I hope you give it a try if you or just, whatever. But that's the wrap up on the black seed oil. My next thing is I'm going to actually start taking these things, see what happens, because I got a whole jar of them now. But thank you for stopping by. Thank you for supporting me by watching the videos. And that does not monetarily. That just feeds my ego. Just kidding. Okay, so anyway, thanks. Really appreciate the kind comments. Boy, I can't ever say enough about how mature and nice you are, compared to other videos. Other videos I see and read their comments are like, oh my God. So thank you so much, and you're a great audience. I'm really glad to share my stuff with you because you are very respectful and so kind, and thank you very much. So lastly, if you have any questions about making C60 oil products and things like that, we have that Telegram chat group I mentioned. It's an awesome group of people. You just jump on, ask your question, and there will be probably a whole bunch of people wanting to help you because everybody's so engaged in doing this. So like I said in the last video, though, we did have to lock it down because of spammers. So if you want to get in, click in. Oh, by the way, everything I mentioned in this video, there are links in the video description below the video. So I got links for everything. So at the very bottom, there's a link to join the chat group. You just need to DM me and for an invite, and I'll just go ahead and put you in the group. Okay. Other than that, that's great. So hey, thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day. Aloha.